Azerbaijan is elected.
In October, Azerbaijan was awarded a place as a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council for the first time in its history. But for a country seeking to portray itself as modern and westernized, it's notably failing to let its citizens have their say. The state controls the media in Azerbaijan, and there are severe consequences for anyone who tries to speak out against the authorities.
Azerbaijan is in a situation where popular media is not free. No TV is giving out any information about anything happening that doesn't go together with the official strategy, official thought of the government.
The crackdown on free speech has forced young Azerbaijani activists to turn to social media sites to voice their views. But even posting on Facebook can get you into trouble. Jabar Savalan is one of these young activists.
Cəbhətçi olduğuna görə bir də indi deyirlər ki, Facebookda artıq dövlətdə haqq ədaləti yazıb, haqq ədaləti yoxdur, rüşvətxorluq var, demokratiya, azadlıq olduğuna görə Facebooka girib yazıbdı. Ona görə tutublar, ancaq ona görə.
In early January 2011, Jabar Savalan reposted an article which originally appeared in a Turkish newspaper. This described President İlham Aliyev as corrupt and a gambler. Soon afterwards, Jabar was arrested.
5 fevralda Xalq Cəbhəsinin iclası vaxtı evə gələndə Jabar podyezddə polis əməkdaşları tərəfindən yaxalanıb, polis şeyinə aparıldı, şöbəsinə. Dedi, cibindən narkotik tutmuş.
He was interrogated over 2 days with no access to a lawyer. Jabar said police slapped and threatened him until he signed a confession. He was convicted of possessing illegal drugs for personal use, despite a blood test taken after his arrest which showed no trace of drugs. The court sentenced him to 2.5 years in prison. Jabar is not the first to be accused and convicted in this way. Drugs have reportedly been found on other prominent critics of the government, such as Aynullah Fatullayev. Aynullah was imprisoned in 2007 for criticising the government. But in April 2010, the European Court of Human Rights quashed the conviction and ordered his immediate release. Azerbaijan initially contested the European Court ruling. Then, in 2010, convicted him on another charge of possessing heroin, sentencing him to a further 2.5 years in prison.
Совет министров, значит, Совета Европы рассмотрел дело Эйнуллы, то есть 2 раза рассмотрел, и опять-таки об освобождении Эйнуллы, но до сих пор, значит, Эйнулла сидит в тюрьме. То есть на чем основывается вот решение нашего правительства о том, что Эйнулла в настоящий момент сидит в тюрьме по якобы делу о наркотиках.
Aynullah Fatullayev was eventually released in May 2011, 1 year after the European Court ruling, and after a 4-year international campaign for his release led by Amnesty International. Other Azerbaijani activists and bloggers using online networking tools to spread information have found themselves the subject of unprovoked attacks.
2 athletes came into the restaurant after us. They sat 1 table away from us. And during the end of our conversation, one of them yelled, "Hey, what are you guys talking about there?" And we decided to ignore it because we thought that this was a provocation. And then they came in again and said, "I ask you a question, what are you talking about here?" And then one of the guys started headbutting and punching Emin. My friend Emin, he fell to the floor. I didn't know what to do, but I tried to block Emin from being hit because he will start to get hit while he is on the floor. And then this athlete started hitting me also.
Immediately after the attack, they tried to complain to the police, but instead they were arrested on charges of hooliganism.
Till the last moment, we thought that we were the ones who filed the report and they were the ones who were in trouble. And the people who attacked us were also brought to the police station and they were saying, "Please do not file the report, this was a misunderstanding," etc. But we said, okay, if this goes to court, we're going to say we have nothing against you. And surprisingly, they were let go and we were imprisoned on that day. At the same day, we were taken to the detention center And the whole thing started from then. Haven't seen freedom for 17 months.
Last year, newspaper reporter Leyla Mustafayeva unintentionally found herself the subject of newspaper headlines. While at the Nizami district bazaar on assignment for a feature, she witnessed a policeman dragging a tradeswoman out by her hair. She began to photograph the assault, but soon became embroiled in the trouble.
Ben həmin kadrları lentə keçirmək istədim, şəkillər çəkdim. Bu zaman qadını sürüyən polis işçisi mənim şəkilimi çəkdiyimi gördü və vəhşicəsinə üstümə şığıdı. Kimliyimi soruşdu, vəsiqəni çıxartdım, göstərdim, qəzetin mənə verdiyi vəsiqəni. Yəni vəhşicəsinə vəsiqəni əzərək qarın üstünə atdı və fotoaparatımı da zorla cibimdən çıxartdı, götürdü. Mən onu qorumağa çalışırdım.
Leyla was arrested. She was eventually released, but all her photos had been deleted from her camera.
Qısaca olaraq kafi demək olar, çünki ölkədə söz azadlığına bağlı vəziyyət çox pisdir. İstər söz azadlığına bağlı vəziyyət çox pisdir, istər siyasi sahədə olsun, istərsə də elə jurnalistika sahəsində.
Azerbaijanis are increasingly being denied their most basic human right, freedom of speech. Young bloggers, journalists, political activists, students and their families are all aware of the grave consequences if they dare to criticize the state. Amnesty International is calling on the international community to do more to support Azerbaijanis struggling to have their say in a nation where you can be imprisoned just for speaking out.